All I wanna do is end up with you tonight. Ain't no corner in this whole world I don't feel you. Well, I'm gonna make me. You gon' make me love you long time, girl. I wanna love you long time, yeah. All I wanna do is end up with you tonight. Bodies together.
Oh, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Love Uncut with Jimmy.
And Joe?
So, this is a show where, people email us, call us, shoot us DMs, questions that they have in their relationship, scenarios they've been through. And we're here to just give an outside, unbiased,
Uncut tape.
uncut take. And the cool thing is, me and Joe aren't in a relationship. So I'm not worried about saying something that's gonna piss her off. And she's not worried about saying something gonna
No,
piss me off.
that's right.
So we get to say what we want to say how we feel, and go home happy.
That's right.
So let's kick the show off with the first question that I have. So this question
Give it to me.
comes from Aubrey.
Okay.
Where's Aubrey from? Aubrey's from Massachusetts. She says that she just started a relationship with a guy.
Okay.
And she wants to know what are some questions that she should ask early on in dating that most people don't.
Well, I think it's important to kind of ask, what maybe you're looking for in the future. Like if you're looking to just kind of like hang, if you're just recently in a relationship or not. Some people are like, yo, I'm just on this app to like hook up, or I'm looking for a long-term relationship. I think it's kind of important to kind of be kind of cut and dry. And I think that's a problem in dating anymore, as people are just not straight up from the gate.
Yeah.
So,
Listen, being straight up from the gate is a real thing. I haven't always been straight up from the gate. You know what I mean? But I feel like two topics that I feel like are one of the leading causes I feel for a relationship ending, whether it's a dating relationship or a marriage, is people don't talk about finances, whether they're good at saving, not good at saving, and people aren't honest about what they're actually into and not into sexually. You know what I mean? Because, like, it could be a situation where the guy or the girl could one day want to be into swinging or not like oral sex or need it a couple days a week. And they're part of and that's why I feel like I'm not saying the first date, but
yeah,
maybe like
maybe say that down the road,
I
after
wouldn't
some
even,
chemistry is
yeah,
built, kind of
I'd even hit it
situation.
with date 6 because you figure by the time people go on their 6th date, they're at least a month in by then. And I feel like then's the time to just say it. That way, I'm like, you don't waste nobody's time. You say what you're into, like right away. Hey, I like this. I like that. This is who I am. I feel like people wear this mask sometimes. Like I'm guilty of it. I've done it. I don't do it no more. I'm like overly honest now. But people wear this mask, and then a lot of times they take the mask off and then wonder why the person they're with is shocked that this is what you want to do for a living. Actually, this is, you're not good at saving, you're not good at this. What's the craziest surprise you've had?
I just feel like that happens with maturity and like practice of dating too. The craziest situation I've ever had,
Like a
period.
surprise, like you found out something about
Which
a
one?
guy. Just give me something good. What's the crazy surprise
Oh
and you're like,
man.
damn, I wish his ass would have told me this shit
I think
day date 5.
I was dating a guy for like over a month, and he was like, "Yo, I got something to tell you." And I was like, "Oh Lord." And he was like, "I have this girl and I got her pregnant, and I don't think I want to be a part of it, but like stay with you."
Be a part of the girl or the kid's life.
He doesn't want to be a part of it at all.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's,
I was
first of
like,
all, that's
I'm
2
thinking like,
red flags, bro.
yeah,
You're
and I was
showing you're
like,
a
I'm supposed,
deadbeat
yo, like I was supposed to just be like,
and
oh,
you didn't
okay,
tell
just
them.
let me just overlook that. Yeah, it's cool. We can stay together and just float. And I was like, no, I'm good.
See, I feel
Like you don't want to be responsible for what you did.
yeah.
Like, no, like I can't.
And that's what and here, see, I have 2 views on that, and it might be a touchy subject to some people, and some people might get offended, but it is what it is. I feel like there is an unfair balance when it comes to that. So when two people meet, whatever, they're having a good time. They're there to have sex and enjoy it, not create a baby, right?
Right.
So if a baby is made, say the dad wants to be a dad, but she don't want to be a mom. She can get rid of the kid and it's out of his hands, right? But say he doesn't want to be a dad because that's not what he signed up for. It was just sex, but she wants to keep the kid. Now, guess what he has to do? He's financially responsible for that's why I don't think it's fair. I'm not now me being a dad, yes, I'm in my kid's life. I that's what I do. I
Right.
love all my kids. I'm in their life. But I've always felt like that's an unfair thing because if you did want to be a dad, she could say, "No, you're not gonna be a dad. Get rid of the baby." But if she wants to keep the kid and he don't, and they're not in a relationship, now he has. You see what I'm saying? I've always,
I mean, it's a tough situation because I'm like everybody's responsible, and y'all could have just used protection just from the gate and stop this whole nip this whole thing in the bud. What did break? Okay, well, true, and that could be an accident, and like, yeah, that's the responsibility you take when you are sexual.
yeah. What's something you wish you would have told someone you were dating early on? What's a mask you wore for a while?
Um, I don't really know because I feel like I've always been like real and straight up, and then like some people, try to mask that, like they want to put me on this pedestal and make me something that I'm not. They're like, oh, well, I don't like that you, like to go party and drink sometimes, or I don't like, like I want you to stay in this box. But I don't know, like I've never really worn a mask of like who I am. I feel like I've always been like very straight up.
You ever want a couple?
Huh?
I've won a couple. The main one thing that I never really talked about in the beginning wasn't really finances. It was more like the sex thing for me. Because it took me a while to like be honest with myself about who I am and what I want and what I don't want. Like I don't believe in monogamy. It's not for me. I think it's great for people. Like I have a lot of friends that are in monogamous relationships, and I think that's great for them. My issue was I was trying to live by other people's rules and boundaries and standards that they've set for themselves. That wasn't true for me. So, like, yeah, in the beginning, oh, yeah, I could do this, I can commit. But I'm like, like, I realized I don't, and for me, it's deeper than the monogamy. Like, I realized I don't like answering questions. I don't like people feeling like they have the right to ask me what I'm doing, when am I finishing,
So am I
what
allowed to
time I
ask you
coming home.
questions or what?
Well, see, that's different. You know what I mean? Like that's
No,
different.
I know.
Like,
I'm just playing.
like I love
But
being a
yeah, like
dad.
just like,
Yeah,
the you think
having to
like
make time to
there's like
spend with people.
monotony in the
Another
monogamy. And it's like, when you're kind of a free spirit and you like, I've dated and like, I'm trying to find the person that I click with and I haven't found that yet. And I'm, 39 years old, but like that's okay. Cause like I know who I am and I know what I want.
And that's what I feel like too. Like when it comes to relationships, I feel like the two people in that relationship, they set the rules and boundaries for that relationship. You know what I mean? Because I have friends that are just with each other. I have friends that are in an open relationship where they can sometimes step out and do things with other people and they're fine. Then I have some friends that are swingers,
Right.
right? Then I have some friends that,
Or just
they,
straight cheating on people. And it's like,
yeah,
I don't know, just like if everybody's got their thing,
and
but I
their
just also
spouses, you know, okay with it. Then I have some friends that they've been married with 11 years, but they actually year three they moved and they sleep in different rooms. Yeah. So he has his room, she has hers. Then they have a room where the night that they spend together to get intimate or whatever, that's where they go. And I was like, damn, how is that? And he explained it to me. He said it's actually cool. He said, because think about this. If I'm upset with her, or she's upset with me, we get space.
yeah,
Or I want
and
to
then
keep
you
my
could
room
yeah,
junky and my PlayStation on or whatever, and she wants to have whatever she wants in her room because she might like her room hot, he might like it cold. He said, we're just literally sleeping. We hang out, whatever, whatever. We go to sleep, then we get up and we see each
but
other.
they had that
I like
conversation
that.
and they made that work, and it's like that's the important part about it all, and it's like, there's also a lot of my friends that like jump from relationship to relationship to relationship, and I just like don't do that because I think it's important to take time for yourself to feel like I know, like I like being alone sometimes, I like my own space and I always make jokes. I'm like, honestly, the perfect boyfriend would be like part-time. We see each other like
Part time.
on the weekends
Long distance
because like I want
relationships.
to do me and you want to do you. I'm gonna look forward to seeing you, but like I don't necessarily need you around all the
Like live
time.
your life.
Like I want you to live your life, go hang out with your boys, go do you. Like I'm gonna do me. I'll look forward to like our next hang. But like I just like, my friends are just like they jump from one bad relationship to another. And I'm like, you haven't taken the time for yourself to
And they
like realize
forget
who you are and
each
what you want.
relationship
So
they
then when
take
you
themselves to it.
right. So then when you get into a new relationship, you can be like, this is what I've learned, like this is what I need, and this is what I want. So if you can't give that to me, then like it's all good. It was nice to meet you, but like let's just like let's not waste anybody's time. Cause that's what people do. That's what pisses me off is like people wasting people's time. It's like keeping people around and like taking advantage of like insecure people that are like not ready for it. It's like, I don't
And a lot
know.
of times I feel like people have been conditioned to be people pleasers
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
where they won't they don't really want to be honest about certain things because they don't want to let that person down. Right. They don't want to upset.
Well, they're too scared, but honestly, it makes it worse in the end because they're just holding back from themselves to like be who they should be or what they want. And let's like, life is too short to be unhappy. Like,
Life is too short to be unhappy. All right,
all
let's
right,
see.
what other question we
Let's
got?
see
We
what
were on a
this.
rant there.
All right. This one comes from S. Just the initial S
Okay,
from Delaware.
what we got?
All right. Here we go. So it says, let's say you and your best friend, your homeboy, or we could use girls, usually, or well, okay, okay. One of your friends is dating someone that's not right for them, right? Whatever the case may be. But let's say this person is actually compatible with one of your friends. What are the rules when it comes to dating a friend's ex? Is there an amount of time? Is it based off of, how long they've been together, how serious it was? Like, what's your take on that?
My take is that every situation is going to be different. Like, had that person been in a long relationship, maybe like 3, 4 or more years, I'd be kind of like, it depends. Depends on the relationship, and obviously your friend has heard a lot about that. Or if it was like a 6-month thing where like, "Hey, this didn't work out for me," and the maturity level of said people in that being like, I've had my own personal where like I dated somebody and we dated for like 6 months, didn't work out. And then like a couple years later, my girlfriend was like, "Yo, I'm talking to this guy. Like, how do you feel about it? Like if you're down with it or not." And I'm like, "No, like do you? Like I'm just gonna give you like a heads up on what I dealt with and like I'm always gonna have your back, but like maybe you guys are a better fit because that's what it's all about, right? It's not like, no, you can't date that person any like because I already had that. Like that's just like whack to me. Like it depends, but like obviously if like somebody was like married and then like your best friends get that's like, it depends on the scenario. So like, yeah, I've had two different friends date guys that I've dated before and like it didn't work out. I tried to warn them, but but like I was for it,
And
and I
they get
think
a front row
it's the
seat to the
emotional
relationship
maturity.
too.
Yeah, and it's like, oh no, they're still the same person. But I'm like, listen, like have at it. Give it a whirl, see what happens. But like I would have a hard time if like, somebody was like married and then they're like, hey, they got divorced. Like, I'm gonna date this person. I'd be like, oh, that might really fracture your friendship on a female's part.
Yeah, me, I really don't give a shit
Yeah, well, that's what I
because
think
it's like,
you're gonna say.
because I'm like, if I'm dating someone and we broke up, that means I don't want that person, and that person don't want to be with me. So I'm the type of person that if something's done and it's over, it's over. Like I actually introduced one of my friends to an ex a month after me and her broke up,
Yeah.
and they've been married 8 years now.
Damn. See,
You
it
know what I
works out
mean? And
sometimes.
he knew all about her because see the type of woman she was is I can't do that needy, clingy shit. Like, no, no. If I say, hey, I'm at the studio about
Right.
to write a
It's not for
song
you.
and you call me 10 minutes later Hey, what are you doing? You know another thing I hate? She used to do this all the time. Just be on the phone, just to be on the fucking phone. Like she would call me, like, hey, what up? What are you doing? Chilling. What are you doing? Oh, nothing, just pumping gas. Oh, okay.
So
Fuck,
that
you
wasn't for you.
got any fucking thing else to say?
But maybe somebody else relationship, needs. They like having somebody that wants to be around them and needs them all the time. It's just not for us.
Oh yeah,
It's
no,
not our
no.
style or your, my style or your style. It's just like
But
that.
I'm like, even if somebody is like, because and the reason why I don't consider people getting married as a no to dating is because a lot of people marry the wrong person.
Yeah. Well,
It
look
happens
at
all the
divorce
time.
rates. They're pretty
Shit, I'm
record
divorced.
high.
What can
Yeah.
I fucking say? You know what I mean? And that's the thing with me. Like, and I can honestly say, like, I didn't, you know, I wasn't always the most honest in my relationship. Whatever. I felt like if she fully would have known, you know, me what I liked about relationships and what I don't like, I don't think we would have got married.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, and that's why I never really cut off the whole marriage thing because I can honestly say if my ex dated one of my friends, it wouldn't bother me. It might be awkward for them, but not for me because at the end of the day, I want my friend to be happy and I legit want her to be happy.
Yeah.
She's a mother of
And
my
you've moved
kids.
on. It's like some people like can't detach that.
Yeah.
So it really just comes down to like emotional maturity. Like you're like, hey, like this isn't for me. And like I don't have any feels towards that person anymore, like in that way. So like do you be happy.
Shit, yes, that's how you.
Just do it.
All right, let's see. Oh, oh, this is good.
Oh my God.
Why do you think men lie? Kayla
Because
from Texas.
they can. Because
I love this question. I'm gonna probably get in trouble for this, but whatever. It is what it is. It's called Love Uncut, right?
yeah, I mean, especially nowadays with dating websites and whatnot, I think that there's so much available, so much at your fingertips. Literally, like you can swipe and be like, I got 4 dates lined up in one day, male or female,
Sounds exhausting.
exhausting. But like, people are gonna lie and be like, no, you're the only one I'm talking to, this and that, because then they can have multiple and like just people want to have that like high of like I got 4 different people like into me, like, yeah, like I'm on like even though they don't even like know you. It's just like that like high of like being wanted or needed. But yeah, they're gonna fucking lie. I mean, women do it too, but it's just like I don't know. I don't know the reason. You give me what you got, Jimmy.
Kayla, I'm gonna tell you right now. All right? I want you to look at me. I'm gonna take the glasses off for this. I'm gonna tell you why men lie. And I don't know if you got a boyfriend or not. What camera I look to? Okay, I'm gonna look this. Here we go. Kayla. I don't know if you got a boyfriend or not. He's not gonna tell you this, but I can say 80% of guys, this is why we lie. Most guys lie because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Because see, when you lie, there's only a 50% chance you'll find out. So if something happens that he knows if you find out you'd be hurt, there's lies that you never found out about. Guess what? You're not hurt. But the lies you do find out about, then you're hurt. But I get it. A lot of women want men to be honest. No, the fuck you don't. I'm keeping it real. No, the fuck you don't. Because here's the thing: if every man was honest about everything, women would hate us. Women would hate us. For instance, say you ask them, "Hey, why'd you why'd you cheat on me with her? She gives a better blowjob than you." Like, I'm serious. Like, that's why. Like, guys, he's not repeatedly cheating with that because it's bad. He's enjoying it. Well, how come you'd rather hang out with your friends than hang out with me a lot? Because you're probably fucking annoying. That's what he's thinking. I'm not saying he's thinking that about you, But that's a lot of times that's what it is. He'd rather hang out with his friends. You know what? His friends not gonna ask him a bunch of damn questions. They're not gonna bother him during the game. They're not gonna bombard him with questions as soon as he comes home. And a lot of times he might actually feel respected. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys that don't feel respected at home. They feel like an errand boy. They feel like they're there for chores. So you never know. I guarantee Kayla and every other one that's married or in a relationship that you live with your spouse, right? Watch them. Guarantee when they pull in the driveway, 80% of them sit in their vehicle about 15 minutes. You know what that is? They're decompressing before they walk in the house into your bullshit. And the same thing with guys. You know, guys, I know some guys out there that give their women bullshit, but that's why men lie. I can say that's why I lied. That's why a lot of guys I know lie because they don't want to be honest. Like, I hear all the time, I get it. I have a lot of female friends that are like, I wish you would be honest. I told my friend last week, no, the fuck you don't want him to be honest. Case in point. Because what happens is a lot of times when guys are honest, not all women, but a lot of
But
women.
can't you be honest about being blunt and rude?
No,
Can't you?
but
No?
that's not. But here's what I'm saying.
Like you can be like, hey, I
But
can be
you-
honest,
but
like
you
with
can.
you, and like soften the blow instead of
Yeah,
being
you
like,
can soften
no.
the blow, but the words are still the words. There's only so many ways to say I slept with that girl because I enjoy having sex with her and I didn't want to have
Well,
sex with
maybe
you
they
that
don't need
night.
the details, you know?
But that's but what woman asks one question and let it lie? Ain't no such thing. It ain't no such thing. And another reason why guys sometimes don't go into details is because not all women, but some women will hear what a guy says, but somewhere in their brain between this ear and that ear, it turns into something else. Case in point.
All right, like what?
Case in point.
What's like a give me a scenario.
I'll tell you a scenario one of my friends was in.
Okay, tell me.
His woman said, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Do you want to go out? They're opening this new club. Do you want to go? Yeah. He says, nah, I don't feel like going to the club. That's what he says. I do not feel like going to the club. Somewhere in her little brain, she said, so you don't want to go nowhere with me? Are you embarrassed to me? You don't want to be seen with me? You just want to stay in the house? That's fucking gaslighting. It happens a lot. See, that's why what I'm doing from now on, I'm about to just start texting. If I ever date anybody else, we text it. So you can read, because I don't know what it is. Joe, you might have done that before, haven't you?
What?
You ain't never, has a guy said something to you and then you twisted the words in your head, not to what he said?
No, never.
Bullshit.
Never.
I call cat. I call cat. That's why. That's why a lot of guys are afraid to be honest because you're like, you know what?
Well, it depends. It obviously sounds like there was some buildup before that. That didn't just come out of nowhere unless like that
There's
person
always
was, like,
it's
immature.
always some build up. For instance, you could ask. There's questions that women ask their husband that I've answered before that people told me I shouldn't, but that's not me. I was dating this girl one time and she said, hey, does this dress make me look fat? I said, yeah, it does. You calling me fat? No, I said that dress makes you look fat.
But like,
It's a question you asked. She asked
but
me.
like, there's ways of softening the blow, John.
How do if
Being
she
like, I
says,
like that dress, but let's see what another one that looks better.
but that's not answering the question.
Oh.
But see, that's dishonest because
That's not dishonest.
because the
It's just
question
not
was,
being bluntly like hurting somebody's feelings.
but I don't look at it as hurting their feelings. I feel like we're all adults. And if an adult asks me a question, does this dress
Well,
make
I
me
guess if
look
they
fat?
know you, you're gonna be
And I just
raw and
all I said
upset.
was yes.
Yeah.
I didn't say, yeah, you fat. No, I just said yes.
Well, I guess
Right?
men and women differ.
And then she said, because I feel like if I say, hey, we should try a different dress, you know what? 90% of women, well, what's wrong with this one? I really like this dress. So either way, you gotta come back.
Then you're gonna be like, do you want to hear the truth or not? Because like I'm just gonna.
But all women want men to be honest, so she wants the truth. But that's why I'm like, we're damned if we do, damned if we don't.
I mean,
But I'm not saying lying is a good thing. I'm not making an excuse for lying. I'm saying that a lot of guys lie. So a lot of times people think people lie because they don't want to get caught. It's not about getting caught. It's not about that. you know, whenever you do something or go somewhere you said you're not at, whatever, there's a chance you're gonna get caught. If you really love someone, you don't want that person to hurt.
Right.
So if you know, and that's why I feel like sometimes too, like I had a buddy, he cheated on his wife. She didn't know nothing about it. All right. 2 years later, he comes to me and says, "Hey man, I'm thinking about telling my wife." I'm like, "Nigga, why?" He said, "Well, it's just weighing on my conscience." I said, "Don't do that. That's selfish." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You're not telling her because it's her. You're telling her for you.
For you,
So
yeah.
you're going to hurt her to unload your burden. That's selfish. Take that shit to the grave.
Oh,
And if you're
absolutely.
never going to cheat again, just don't do it again and take that to the grave." Why ruffle that? I know some people might say, no, he should tell her. I don't think, what do you think? If your spouse cheats
I
and you
mean,
never find out, do you want him to ever
if it
tell you
was
or
like an
no?
ongoing thing,
No, one time thing.
okay. I
And he
mean,
never,
sometimes it's like,
would you
would
rather him
rather
tell
just
you or
not
just not
know,
know?
honestly, and then just move forward, hopefully, because it's just like, yeah.
Tell us in the comments. If your spouse cheats, man or female, do you want them, if it's a one time thing, do you want them to tell you or not tell you? I'm curious to see.
What people say. I mean, yeah, she's kind of like, depends on the relationship you're having. If it's like already on the fritz and then that happens, it's like, all right, well, that was the icing on the cake for me. Or do we move past and like do better? Yep.
Discourse is funny. Oh God.
What you got?
So Brad from Illinois wants to know, why do women take so many pictures just to post one on the gram when all 20 pictures look the same?
Don't men do the same thing?
Not really. Guys, you never hear a guy take a picture with a group and say, "Hey, let us look at it." We don't ask to look at it.
True.
We don't give a shit.
True.
Our face is our face. How come why is
I
that?
mean, but I also feel like you're grouping because not all women are like taking
No,
all your
I'm not
pictures.
group. Brad asked the question.
Mm.
I don't know. Brad from Illinois asked that shit.
Why do women take? Because we want to capture how we look now because we're not going to look this way forever.
But that picture is how you look now, the one you didn't
Yeah.
like.
But then you can look back at it when you get older and be like, damn.
Jesus.
And because we have these fancy phone, like, these cameras on our phone.
Yeah.
And it like, that's like people put pictures and then you get like likes on it. And you're like, ooh, that like
AKA catfish.
pumps your ego a little bit. Depends on the picture. If it's like, does it really look like you or does it not?
Is Facetune still a thing? Do people still use
Oh,
that?
no idea.
Is that an app? That's an app, right? Where they can like shade and
Well, there's so many different,
that's so funny. Brad's funny as shit. All right, here we go. Oh, here we go. Where is it?
All right. What is it?
Michael from Delaware. If you and your wife haven't had sex in 6 months, is it okay to cheat?
Oof. Well, first of all, what's going on?
Bro.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, why? Why are you not? Why? What's happening?
What do you
No, it's not okay to cheat. It's just like, well, then why are you guys together anymore? Like, not that that's the full purpose, but like, that's a huge thing that glues y'all together. So,
Yeah.
like, is it that like one person's more of a sexual person, and the other person's not? Because like that's like breathing to
Obviously a conversation they didn't have before they got married.
clearly, yeah. So that's
I would say, you know, I would say ask her.
yeah,
Just
because it's
ask her,
like,
hey, did I do something that made you not want to have sex with me anymore? Are you just not
and you're
into
not into
sex?
me
Are you not into
anymore.
me?
Yeah,
Like,
because
what's the
sometimes
issue?
that can happen like in relationships, and you don't realize like something's wrong, and then you're like, I just don't. You're like, "What's wrong with me? Maybe I don't feel like I'm not sexual anymore." And it's like, "No, I'm just like, I don't feel that way towards that person anymore. I just don't feel that." And like, that sucks. But that's like, if you lose that, it's lost. Like, I
And the
don't think that
question
you
is
kind of get
too,
that back.
if so you're married, right? And you hit a point where you no longer want to have sex. You just don't feel sexual anymore, but you want to stay married to him because y'all have a good relationship. Are you okay if he sleeps with someone else?
I just don't foresee myself ever being like that. But, like, I mean, that's just like,
I get that.
because that's just, like, not that's like a friendship, and I have those with plenty of other people at this point, like
That's what I feel like marriage is really
no,
a lot
it
of
is,
it.
but, like, the sexual part is a huge part, I think, like, it's just such a connection that you have, and, like, I could go off
Because a
and do
lot of
things by
women, I feel like,
myself.
really speed up the sexual prime at 40, and sometimes guys might slow down around 40, 50. Well, some, not all. But man, that's a tough one there, bub. Man,
Yeah,
I would
I would
say
be like, ask her and be like,
talk to
"'Cause
her,
listen,
man.
like, if you're not that into me, then can we open the relationship or something like that?
That's
Because this is something that I need, and, like, I love you, but, like, I need this to,
yeah, yeah, bub.
focus."
Man, I would say, mm, yeah, that's all you can say. Talk to her. Yeah, man. I listen. Everybody will handle that situation differently, but I would say the most level way to handle it at first is just have an honest conversation. Ask her first. Don't start with. I definitely wouldn't go in there with, "Hey, sex is important to me. I need it." I would start it from her perspective of, "Hey, are you okay? Right? Are you not into sex anymore? Are you not into me anymore? There's something going on with you internally, that you don't feel sexual, you don't feel like you're beautiful." Whatever it is, I would say just have that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Linda from Texas. I got a lot going on in Texas, don't y'all? I caught my husband masturbating watching porn. I don't know how I feel. We've watched porn together, but I kind of feel like he's cheating on me watching porn and pleasuring himself without asking me to join or coming downstairs to have sex with me. How should I feel? How do y'all feel?
You can go first. I don't really know what to say at this point right now.
Mm, well, I'm not a woman, so I don't know. I would just say, from his perspective, maybe he just wants some alone time. Because here's the thing, having sex with somebody else, that's a duty. You know what I mean? Because if you're a giving person, you care about the person, you want to make sure they enjoy themselves too. And some days you just don't feel like pleasuring somebody else. You want to take care of yourself. Good 2, 3 minutes.
I don't see it as cheating at all. Like, I see it as just, like, yeah, it's a release, it's
Mhm.
whatever, like, it's not like, I wouldn't take it personally.
And he's not sleeping with another girl. He's home.
Exactly.
He's at the house.
It's just porn. It's not real.
It's not real at all. He's at the house, you know. Now, if he come in the room wanting you to like tie yourself up and swing from the chandelier or something like that, then I
Yeah,
don't know. You might
and
have
if
to,
you aren't
you
doing
know,
it and he's
what's
doing
that
just
circus that
that,
used to come here? What's that?
Cirque du Soleil,
Yeah, Circus Soleil. What's the other one used to come to Delaware? What is it? It used to be in Milton. Circus to come here. Ringling Brothers. Yeah, Ring. Ain't that's something different. Or if you're into that, who knows? But
unless it's a problem and y'all aren't, getting busy on the regs and he's choosing to do that, then, like, because every situation's different, so I like to look at the big picture.
yeah, and that's something else I would say. Talk to him about it. If him doing that is taken away from y'all having sex, then that's a conversation. But I'm like, I don't. Oh, you got a lot going on in Texas, man.
There are worse things. That's all I'll
There
say.
are
Worse
worse
things,
things,
for sure.
man. Y'all hit the comments. Let us know your response to these questions. They're questions we give
We'll give our best
our
answers,
opinions,
yeah,
and it's just
uncut.
our opinions, uncut. Hate it, like it, love it.
That's right.
It is what it is. Make it make sense. We say what we said. So we'll catch y'all next time right here on.
Love uncut?
Hey, peace.
Tonight, bodies together, been like a long time.